Where have you been directing your gaze? I want to start this message with this reflection because today we are going to understand something important that will open your vision, change your understanding, and make you very careful with certain things. So stay until the end of this video, listen carefully. And if you are new here, subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and share this message with everyone you love. So let's go. Jesus, in Matthew chapter 6, verse 22, makes a very important declaration. He says, "How tremendous are these schemes? Pay attention." Jesus is saying that the eyes are the window of the soul, that what passes through your eyes reflects in your inner being. And this is very serious, my brother, because a person who inclines their gaze, their eyes, to what is dirty, what is impure, what is negative, is bringing into themselves only the negative, only the impurity, only the wickedness. For example, a person who constantly watches the news but it only shows tragedy, murder, violence, is bringing all that negative energy into themselves. And you know what's going to happen? This will reflect on their soul. Soon that person is afraid to go out on the street. I'm sure you've known someone like this. The person doesn't want to leave home anymore. Why? Because they see so much tragedy every day, they tilt their eyes so much towards these bad things, all the wickedness in the world, that they end up losing even the desire to leave home. They become afraid to go out on the street, and when they do, they are scared. Any little thing scares them, any little thing worries them. My brother, do not incline your eyes towards what is evil. Do not incline your eyes towards what is impure. This is reflecting on your soul. You have to understand this, that the eyes are like a lamp, that receives light from what they are looking at, and this light goes into you. If you are directing your eyes towards what is good, what is pure, what is healthy, what is not impure, what really does not have wickedness, you are bringing that into your life. For example, when you spend more time meditating on the Holy Scriptures, you are looking at the Word of God, you are meditating, you are involved there, you are bringing only good things into yourself. Now, my brother, when you are watching only those bad things, you are bringing bad things into yourself. I'm not saying you can't watch. I'm saying that a person who only directs their eyes towards what is evil, what is impure, will only have that inside them. For example, there are couples, marriages, relationships that end because of what? Because one person cannot control their eyes, they do not know how to control their gaze. There are betrayals that start with a simple look. Looking in the wrong direction, at the wrong person, just like David. What I'm telling you has a biblical basis, because on this channel we teach the true gospel based on the word as it truly is. So look, how did David's sin of murder and adultery begin? With a look. He was passing by and saw whom? Bathsheba. He saw her, he looked at her. That, my brother, already generated a series of things within him, which he did not guard against, did not block, did not take care of, and we know the result. He lost a very important soldier, committed adultery, had a son who also died. So see how important, how serious it is. Another example, Samson, my brother. We've already learned here on this channel, if you're not subscribed, you're just missing out, because each message complements the other, teaches, continuing from what we've already heard. Samson wanted Delilah. Why? Because she was pleasing to his eyes. And what was the end of Samson? The means by which he began his downfall were his eyes. And his eyes were what? Gouged out. He was shamed, humiliated, had a sad end, which should not have been that way, as from his womb he was separated for God. He was a Nazirite of God. So see, my brother, how important it is to be careful about what you look at. You have to be vigilant, my brother, because looking is quick. I sometimes look in the wrong direction, and if you're not connected, not attentive, you end up being trapped there. If you look at something wrong and get stuck, my brother, you can't get out anymore. You look at a woman who is not yours, you look at a man who is not your husband, you look at prostitution, you look at pornography, you look at the bad news, you look at the wickedness, all of this is bringing only bad things inside you. Bad and sinful feelings, bad and sinful desires, and in the end, my brother, it's you who will fall. In the end, the one who will lose the family, who will lose the job, who will lose friends, who will lose the most important, which is salvation and communion with God, is you. So be very careful with what is being reflected inside you. The eyes. It's like a reflector that captures an image from one side and projects it onto the other. It takes the image from outside the world, from what is around you, and casts it inside you. And if you're not careful through your eyes, you might end up falling. But look at Joseph. Joseph gives us an extremely important example. Joseph was abandoned and betrayed by his brothers. Yet, at a certain moment, Joseph was in the house of Potiphar. And what happened? His wife, being a beautiful woman, imagine, one of the most important men, he didn't have just any woman. He had a beautiful woman who was attractive in Joseph's eyes. But did Joseph let that bring him down? No. And even when she threw herself at him, Joseph resisted. My brother, Joseph did not let what his eyes were seeing before him, because the woman was completely naked in front of him, enter into him. At that moment, he averted his gaze and said, "No, I'm not going to look at this. I'm not going to incline my eyes towards this because it will reflect inside me, will stir up wants, desires, and I will fall, I will sin, no. I'm not going to do that." And he fled. Who was Joseph, my brother? Who was Joseph? A governor, man. Joseph made a difference. Joseph showed us, Joseph taught a lesson to David, to Samson. Men who looked from afar at a woman and had a nasty fall. One even died because of it, Samson. But look at Joseph, this is very powerful, my brother. Take this vision, woman of God. Take this vision, man of God. Joseph, he didn't just look at the woman, he saw her naked. But Joseph didn't fall. He fled. Joseph, he set the example. My brother, do not look at what is impure. Do not look at what is not worth it. It will trap you, it will cast snares on you and bind you. That's why many people are losing, are suffering in life because they don't know this secret. They don't understand that the more they look at these bad things, the more they become trapped in them, the more they affect their life. Now, when you look at what is good, you look at your family, you see how beautiful your wife is, how handsome your husband is, how beautiful your children are, you see how beautiful and honest what you do is, you see how beautiful is the Word of God, how beautiful is the presence of God, then you start bringing only good things into yourself. This will reflect inside you as light, my brother. You will be a person who shines. Now, if you bring darkness, Jesus said, "Oh, how great are these darknesses, why?" Because exactly that, if you let darkness enter, it comes in and destroys you. Now, if you let light in, good things in, be sure that your life will be a blessing, you will shine, you will radiate the presence of God wherever you go, my brother. I'm leaving here another message for you. Click on this video, continue feeding on the Word of God, dedicate time to learn and know God's will, because it is good, perfect, and pleasing.